We're all hearing about AI constantly, right? But let's be real. How much of it is just hype? In this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're getting right to the operational reality of AI, so you can lead with real clarity, not just buzzwords.
See, the thing is, AI isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's already here, baked into our core systems. And the real danger isn't the tech itself. It's the fact that our mental models, the way we think about it, are dangerously out of date.
So where does that disconnect even come from? Well, it all boils down to a few critical and really flawed assumptions that business leaders are making about how AI actually works.
First off, we treat AI like it's just regular old software. You put something in and you expect to get the exact same thing out every single time. But that's just not how AI works. It's inherently variable, and assuming that kind of rigid consistency is our first huge mistake.
And this one hits on the biggest misconception out there. We see a fluent, really human-like response, and our brain just automatically assumes the AI understands, that it gets it. It doesn't. It is an incredibly sophisticated pattern-matching machine, and that's all.
And finally, we assume we have precise control, that we're in the driver's seat and can dictate the exact outcomes. But the reality is, AI runs on probability. It makes predictions based on what's statistically likely, and that introduces a level of uncertainty we absolutely have to plan for.
So when you put all these assumptions together, what do you get? You get something we can call an illusion of intelligence. And to really get a handle on AI, we have to deconstruct this illusion. We're going to do that by busting 3 powerful myths that are built on some partial truths.
So here's the first partial truth, the thing that makes these myths so darn convincing. There is no denying it. The output from a modern AI can be incredibly fluent. It sounds smart, it reads well, it feels human.
But, and this is the first crucial thing you have to burn into your brain, fluency is not the same as understanding. Just because it can string together a beautiful sentence doesn't mean it has any idea what those words actually mean.
So what's really happening under the hood? Well, the AI isn't thinking. It's just predicting the next most likely word based on patterns from trillions of data points it was trained on. It's a statistical party trick, not real thinking.
Okay, on to the second partial truth. AI often gives us its answers with what seems like unshakable confidence, right? The tone feels authoritative, the presentation is just so certain. And this is the next big trap. We see that confidence, and our brains automatically think, well, it must be accurate then. But an AI's confidence has absolutely no relationship to whether its output is factually correct. You see, an AI's confidence is really just a statistical score. It's a measure of how closely its answer matches the patterns in its training data. It's a measure of its own internal consistency, not a guarantee of external truth.
And the third, and maybe the most deceptive partial truth of all, is that AI can generate arguments that sound perfectly coherent and logical. It follows a structure that our brains are trained to recognize as rational thought.
But I think you know where this is going. Here's the final, vital thing to remember. Coherence is not truth. A perfectly structured, logical-sounding argument from an AI can be complete and total fiction.
The risk of coherent nonsense is very, very real. So what does this mean for you? It means you can never, ever just assume fluent output is correct. Human verification isn't just a good idea, it is an absolute necessity. So now that we've busted those myths, let's get really clear on how these systems actually operate. It all boils down to the fundamental difference between prediction and genuine understanding. So let's build a new mindset. On the left, you've got the old deterministic way of thinking, treating AI like a calculator. But on the right, that's the reality. AI is probabilistic. It doesn't compute, it predicts. It gives us statistically likely outcomes, which means we have to embrace that it comes with inherent variability.
So what happens when we cling to that old way of thinking? What are the real consequences when these faulty assumptions finally break down in the real world? Well, the impact can be pretty severe.
First, simply misinterpreting what an AI gives you leads directly to bad business decisions. Second, when you build automated systems based on these flawed assumptions, you're not just making a mistake, you're amplifying it at scale across the whole organization. And finally, the incredible speed of AI can accelerate your existing business problems, causing huge failures before anyone even has a chance to notice.
And let's be crystal clear about this. We are not talking about abstract technical errors here. These failures have real, tangible consequences for your people, for your customers, and for the health of your entire organization. So how do we move forward?
It really requires a fundamental shift in our thinking. We have to evolve from a mindset that's all about absolute control to one that's about smart, robust governance.
The answer here isn't to fear AI or to just abandon it, it's to change our own mindset. We have to stop demanding deterministic certainty from a tool that is, by its very nature, probabilistic. We need to embrace its uncertainty and then build the right governance frameworks, the policies, the procedures, and the human oversight to manage its reality. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. You know your AI is making predictions, not thinking. The real question is, are your decision-making processes, your teams, and your company culture actually prepared for that reality?